Welcome to Beyond the Music, the podcast where we dive into the lives and stories of people who shape the world of music. I am Karina.
And I'm Lena. We're both classically trained singers, and this podcast is our chance to explore the fascinating intersections of music, history, and humanity.
Last time you heard everything about Shostakovich's opera Lady Macbeth, thanks to Lena. But in today's episode, it is episode 13.
Oh.
Now, we are going to be delving into some of the superstitions of opera. Now, I personally consider the number 13 as unlucky. What about you, Lena?
I don't have a thing with numbers. I just think like someone is lucky or not lucky, but I don't connect it to numbers.
Well, because behind the scenes, the opera world has just as many rituals, legends, and don'ts, as does arias and curtain calls. So there's a lot. And it's very different between each singer as well. So let's dive into some of the strangest, most entertaining, and sometimes spooky superstitions in opera. Let's begin with one of the most famous theater taboos. Now, before I say this name, I'm going to have to do the ritual so I don't get cursed. Okay, I'm safe. It's called the Macbeth curse. Macbeth, written by the wonderful William Shakespeare, is believed to be cursed, and saying the name Macbeth inside a theater is said to bring disasters. So instead, many actors refer to it as the Scottish play.
Yeah, if you do say the name, there is a cleansing ritual.
Which I just did.
Which he just did. You're supposed to leave the theater, turn around 3 times, spit, say a line from another Shakespeare play, like "Angels and ministers of grace defend us," curse loudly, and then knock and ask to be let back in.
The curse is very scary.
Yeah. But the fun thing, I think if it's just in because we have an opera of Macbeth and in the play, I'm wondering if the opera singers know about that. Before this, I never heard about that.
Really?
Really?
Oh, in North America, we know about it. I think maybe it has to do with the language, because Macbeth was in English. But if we sing it in a different language, maybe we're safe?
I don't know. But normally it's also in English, or if it's like the one from Verdi, it's in Italian. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely something we're going to have to explore. But you know, the next superstition is personally one of my favorites. The ghost light.
Yeah.
It's that one lonely light bulb on stage when the house is dark. Practically, it prevents falls and injuries into the orchestra pit, which I am all for safety.
Yeah.
But if you look at the superstitious side of it, it guides or appeases the theater ghosts.
Yeah, and fun fact, during COVID shutdowns, ghost lights became a worldwide symbol of resilience and hope for future performances. Some say the light even allows spirits to perform during the night.
Now, I have to admit, I do have this one personal superstition. Well, not superstition, but more of a habit that I do.
Okay.
I love getting to the theater early when the ghost light is still on and just sitting on the stage in silence. That's my little pre-performance ritual I do. It just gets me into a meditative state and pulls the energy in from the theater. What about you? Do you have any rituals before singing?
Actually, no. I just see that I come on time to the theater.
It's always a big one.
So I always take a train earlier because the German trains, I don't know if it's spread the word already outside of Germany, but we are punctual, but not our trains. So I take at least one train earlier if I have to take the train to be there and to be not stressed before.
Yeah, muscle tension is not good for singing, especially stressed.
Yeah.
So another big one in the superstitious opera world is whistling backstage. And it's still banned in many theaters. This goes back to the 17th century when prompters, the people who would lift, lower the backdrops, the curtains, they would use whistles to cue set changes. So an innocent whistle backstage could trigger the wrong cue and cause chaos.
Yeah, and many stagehands were also dock workers who brought the nautical whistle system into theater. Even today, people still avoid whistling backstage to ward off misfortune. So that's something. Yeah, I can say that it's still like that. Mm-hmm. People look at you strangely if you by accident whistle in the theater.
Well, yeah. Have you heard of the Tosca superstition?
No, actually not.
Well, the opera Tosca, it's considered cursed by some singers due to a string of onstage accidents. For example, the famous, most beloved opera singer Maria Callas's wig caught fire mid-performance in 1965. And in the 1970s, Galina Wisniewskaya's wig also caught fire during a production in Vienna.
The stories are dramatic because Callas kept performing while smothering the flames herself. And Wisniewskaya suffered burns to her scalp. And many singers refused to say the word Tosca in the theater at all. And actually, I knew that those happened, but I didn't know it was Tosca.
Wow. Well, it sounds very similar to the curse of the Scottish play.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of haunted, La Scala in Milan is said to be watched over by ghosts of past performers.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love a friendly neighborhood ghost?
Exactly.
One particular chair backstage is never moved because removing it has reportedly led to disasters.
Yeah, actually, some theaters also leave one seat in the auditorium permanently unsold. A ghost seat, meant for visiting spirits. Disturbing, it is said to bring bad luck to the production. So, yeah. Actually, I have to look out for that when I visit the opera. Especially if it's a sold-out performance. But you can never know because there may be some people sick and...
Mm-hmm. It's very mysterious. But then there's also individual performer superstitions, like mine, sitting on the stage with the ghost light, meditating.
Mm-hmm.
Pavarotti always carried a bent nail in his pocket before a show. But the caveat was he had to find it backstage. He couldn't just bring one from home. He had to find it. It was similar to his version of knocking on wood, so touching iron for luck. And so sweet, the crew at the Metropolitan Opera in New York would even plant the nails backstage just for him so he could find one and feel that the performance is going to be good.
Aww. And Italian contralto Marietta Alboni absolutely refused to take dressing room 13.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Under any circumstance. No matter what. Number 13, not happening.
You see, I'm not crazy. It's the number 13. And then, of course, the most common tradition of saying toi, toi, toi. The opera world's version of break a leg. It's said to mimic spitting. And
yes.
Yes. And comes from the German word Teufel, meaning devil. So saying it 3 times is supposed to drive the devil away. And we still do it to this day. We say toi, toi, toi.
Exactly. And which reminds me, never say good luck before a performance. It's
No.
believed to jinx the show. Just say toy, toy, toy or break a leg instead.
Isn't this fascinating how many superstitions there are in our world?
Yeah, artists.
Well, this one I think is the most colorful one. In Italy, purple costumes are a big no-no. Purple is tied to Lent, which is a Christian holiday, and funerals. So wearing it in the theater has long been considered bad luck, as in you're bringing in all of those bad things.
I'm wondering if it's okay to wear that if it's a funeral in the performance.
Oh,
Because then it would be the color for that.
true. But then do you think that would attract bad spirits to the performance?
It is the question because it's normal. It's a funeral. Then it wouldn't or shouldn't attract bad spirits.
We're gonna
I
have...
would have to ask an Italian person.
Yes, who could we ask about this? Get some more backstory.
And then there's also the infamous last dress rehearsal curse.
Oh God, this one.
If your dress rehearsal goes too smoothly, people worry that opening night will flop. Some directors even joke about needing at least one disaster during dress rehearsal.
It's true. It's true. And another superstition warns singers not to sing on stage before the premiere, except in rehearsal. And doing so is thought to jinx the show.
So no singing for you sitting with your ghost light on stage.
No, I sit in silence. No, I am not going to jinx anything.
Good. And let's not forget the unlucky opera La Forza del Destino.
Oh, love it.
It has a long history of onstage accidents. In 1960, baritone Leonard Warren died mid-performance at the Met.
What?
Yeah. One reason Pavarotti never sang it.
Oh my gosh. Well, unfortunately, talking about death, there's also the Mozart's Requiem. Because he died before finishing it, people believe performing it invites death. Some conductors refuse to program it for that reason.
Oh, but it's beautiful music.
Oh, it's stunning. It's gorgeous.
And I mean, it's a requiem. Kind of, it fits to the topic.
Yeah, but I think it has to do that Mozart passed away while writing it. So maybe his soul is in the music. More mystery.
Yeah. And lastly, the mysterious seventh performance curse. In long production runs, the seventh performance is often when something goes wrong. Missed cues, cracked notes, injuries. Enough incidents have happened to keep this myth alive.
Yeah.
So, whether you believe them or not, these superstitions are part of what makes opera so rich, so layered. Behind all the polished perfection, there's a deep-rooted tradition of ritual and fear and superstition.
And let's be honest, we've all knocked on wood or whispered a quick toy, toy, toy before stepping on stage.
Exactly. So I hope you enjoyed this episode about superstitions in opera as much as we did. And if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.
Next time, we'll delve into yet another fascinating chapter of music history. Until then, keep listening and discovering the stories beyond the music. See you next time.